Hello, everyone. It's Heather Hurt. That's Kuya P. We are Nerds Rule the World, the NRW, and we are going to walk back in time to earlier this year and talk about weapons. I know we're a little bit behind, but it took me a minute. It's all my fault. Blame me.
It's
It's all
all
my
good.
fault.
It doesn't matter whenever we see it, it's all
Exactly.
good.
When you watch it, right? But
Yeah,
let's
never
get
feel
it.
sorry for that. I've been meaning to tell you that, because some people have hit us up. I forgot what review we posted recently, and somebody commented, "It's about time." Do you pay me? Do you pay Heather? Unless you're paying me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I got no noise for that. I'm not hearing that noise. So Heather, we get it done when we get it done. So
And also to make that statement aside, consume art when you can. Just make sure you are consuming it. Support it where you can and when you can. Without us getting too much deeper, let's do the trailer thing. Let's go with weapons.
well said. Good stamp on that, Heather.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
That was Weapons, available right now on HBO Max for all of you. It was written and directed by Zach Cregger. And it features Scarlett Cher as the voice, as the narrator of our film, the young child who tells us the story from her past. Julia Gardner as Justine, Cary Christopher as Alex, Jason Turner as the counselor, Josh Brolin as Archer, and Benedict Wong as Marcus, along with a huge list. It is actually, it was intentionally a community that made this film because it was a community film, starring some amazing young actors as well. Honestly, Cary Christopher was just a phenomenal young man. That is our cast. That is our crew. The plot is exactly what you saw. Just to say, we will not be spoiler free. The film has been out for a hot minute, so we will get into some spoilers with this. But the plot is that on a random Wednesday, a teacher came into her third grade classroom, and all of her students were missing except one. She had no idea why he was the only one or where all of her students were. However, parents, fear has a problem with fear always, riles up people, and she becomes the de facto reason, the de facto person that people want to blame, because it only happened to her. Through it, we have 3 chapters of a story that take place within this universe to figure. So as we unravel the horrors going on with Alex and his family, and how they impact Justine and how they impact Archer. Everything comes down to everything comes down to this old white woman. That's it. That's really the plot. Let's get into it. Kuya P, what were your initial thoughts I know this is going back a little bit.
No worries. I was excited. The trailer looked amazing. It might have got me up a little too much, but we'll get into that into the review. But no, I was very excited. The ensemble was insane. The visuals, the cinematography that we got from the trailer got me hyped for the crew behind it and everybody, on those side of the house. Storyline that we could gather from the trailer looks great. And I was a fan of Barbarian. Barbarian was nuts. So the pedigree was there for me to just gobble this all up. So yeah, I was excited for weapons.
I'm basically in the same boat. Krieger's having his, his signature all over this film, what made me excited. Barbarian is definitely the type of film that my husband absolutely loves. Just the traditional gore with very classic othering themes. I'm more of the slasher type. He's more of the classic gore. But I'm not saying it's a phenomenal film. The film, it's probably one of the most cinematic horror films of our day, of our modern day. I'm not including Sinners in that because Sinners is its own. It is the most cinematic horror, but I also don't know if it's horror. We can get into, well, we can talk about that on a different day. But it was one of those where, with Barbarian being, the previous film to this, and us knowing, by the way, that the Barbarian universe is expanding, it was kind of, I was wondering if this was going to be included in that. And with that, I think we should just go right into the review, because it's not, as far as we know, it's not any expansion of that so-called universe, if the expansion is even happening. So KAYFABEYBABY, review time.
So we get each different story throughout presented. Again, cinematography, everything that I expected was there. I think my biggest gripe is the ending. So first off, I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining, but I guess I came in with already a story written in my head as a creative. And so when it didn't go there as I expected, and then wouldn't say I was upset, but I was like, oh, okay. But when I was presented with something different, it didn't give me the whole wraparound that I wanted for reasons why and to make me love it, I guess. So I enjoyed it. I thought all the performances were great. There's a lot of startling images. Some stuff might give you PTSD in a lot of ways. But yeah, it was just the ender, the way it closed out and the final resolution of the reasons behind everything that, I don't know, just weren't there for me. But I thought it was a great film, and one of the year's best. I know a lot of my fellow critics have it on their top tens. Unfortunately, it's not on mine nor in my 20, but it is one of the better films of the year.
It's definitely one of the top horror films of the year. I can agree to that.
Yeah, horror category, definitely.
I will say, though, that this might actually slip into thriller more so than horror for me.
Agreed.
If you're looking for a Barbarian style, blood and guts kind of film, that's not this.
Yeah.
It's not this at all, which actually was the only thing that truly disappointed me about this film. I do agree on the anticlimaticism of the film. I don't necessarily think it was a detriment, but I will say that I went into this film thinking I was going to see a horror, especially with all of the positive critiques I had seen prior to the months and months and months of me waiting to see this film. We have people all over the place talking about how this is comparable to, and not in the same way of like, piece to piece. We're not talking Wonder Woman to Captain Marvel. Stop with that comparison anyway. But a lot of people were talking, comparing this to Sinners is number one in thriller, or is number one in horror, and Weapons is number two. We got a lot of that in the horror spaces. And I don't know, once again, Sinners aside, talking about if that's horror or not. Anyway, this is a thriller, and the gore was uninspiring to me, especially when you compare it to Barbarian. There were some really cool deaths, but it was kind of uninspired when you consider the absolute geniusness of Barbarian. And I think I went in, and KAYFABEYBABY and I have talked about this. When you go in with a bias, with an expectation, you are always disappointed. And that's the thing. I went in with Cregger knowing what I've seen in the past, and I was kind of let down. And I don't mean that in a negative way. The other thing that I did, and KP we'll talk about, we can also talk about themes here in this, because Cregger he is a thematic writer. He has 14 things happening that this movie is based off of. In this case, it's really two big things. It's abuse and alcoholism, and then it's, of course, loss and death. Those are the two big themes behind this film. He had just recently had a loss, and of course, he and his father have experienced alcoholism, excuse me. So this was just that story. And I felt that the themes were a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Barbarian, it seemed so much more subtle, but still poignant. This, it seemed like, you have the monster that takes over your family. You have the loss of the kids. Story. Okay, your opinion to that?
No, I agree. There's a point at the end, again, in this finale, once we learned everything, that I was like, this is just stupid. You see it in the trailer, all the kids running, and they're going through windows, and it's just like, are you serious right now? I'm sure the kids have a lot of fun. The kids making all this stuff had a lot of, but it just seemed hokey and stupid that it just like, okay, I just put all this time in, and now the kids are running after this woman, or this whoever they're, I think it was the women at the end, right? Or where they're running towards to kill the woman. And it just really, I don't know. It just took a moment that you see in real life with kids just running around playing, and like we went evil with it. Or it was actually reminded me of comic book. I forgot what comic book. I want to say it was like some, damn, what's that line? I want to say it was like Garth Ennis, not Garth Ennis's line. I'm not sure if you remember what I'm talking about, Heather, because you're comic-y. There was a
Garth Ennis, a filmography all the way down my arm.
Yeah, there's a comic book line that it reminded me of, with like zombies, but they're not really zombies, but they're like, they eat people and stuff. And anyway, but it just was hokey. Once I got to that point, it just was like hokey to me, and then just the whole payoff of overall of reasons behind it, and this person and can do this, that, and the third. It just fell short. It fell short. But it wasn't entertaining. Gave a lot of great visuals and storytelling, and to the points you're saying with some of the layers about alcoholism, drugs, losing someone, family, being a father. I understood Josh Brolin all the way through. I'm gonna figure out this shit. I'm gonna look at all this, and again, Brolin's one of the one of our best actors out there. So yeah, just the ending fell short. The ending fell short.
There was a great article that I read that talked about the humor. I can't remember the Cregger's comedy troupe. This one had much more of those comedic elements to it. And I realized that I didn't mention Amy Madigan, who plays Gladys. Her character was a little bit too parodied for me. I loved her in the role, but it felt very parodied. And I don't think anyone did a bad job. I don't think anyone, but there was more comedy, like more very forward comedy in this film.
I put it on the script. Yeah, totally the script, not the actors.
Yeah, it's and unfortunately, and I've said this many times in the past, great writing can bring up poor acting. Great acting cannot bring up poor writing. This just did not hit, especially when you compare it to his other work. I'm not saying that this is a bad film. This is a very interesting film. If you want the blood, gore, and horror, go watch Barbarian. If you want a little bit more of a conceptual story, watch Weapons. That's kind of my opinion with this. Did it fall short? Yes, but overall, it was an interesting tale. And I know that I sound very negative in this. I think if you're feeling it kind of too. But we are actually being positive about this film. There was some lacking moments, and it also shows what it does when you bring in a bias to a theater or to a space. Don't be biased. Even if you know someone did something great, remember that this is not that. Always remember that what you are watching is not something that they've already done. And if it is, that's actually a bad thing. If they are repeating something that they've already done, you're going to get bored.
And the series, I was thinking comic book wise, was Crossed. Remember Cross?
Oh, yep. Yes, I remember Cross.
That's what
Yep.
it reminded me of.
Vampires. Okay. Cross is an interesting story, y'all. If y'all want gore, blood, and gore,
That's definitely
you go recrossed. But anyway, with that being said, QP, any final thoughts?
It's an entertaining film. A lot of great visuals, great storylines in there. I love how to present it, to go in between everybody's parts within it, to then get to the overall. The ending didn't do it for me. But that's just me. It did it for a lot of my fellow critics. And so again, it may not have been for me, there's a project for everyone. But overall, I found it entertaining. I have to agree. I think that the climax was a little bit not as climactic as all of us would have liked, but how they got there was really well shot. There's some weaknesses to this. Usually at this point we say if this film is worth seeing in theaters, well, it's not in theaters anymore. But I will say this: it is available on HBO Max, which is currently one of the least subscribed of the major streaming companies. There we go. So with that being said, here's what I'm going to ask instead: is this film worth renting on Prime, on Apple, on any of those if you do not have HBO? I think so, yes. I think it is. Especially, we would love to hear, what are your thoughts of Cregger's work? There has been a whole bunch of positive, and I came in a little bit negative to this. QP has a little bit of a negativity towards the end. What are your thoughts? And we definitely want to hear that. So is this film worth a couple bucks to rent? Absolutely it is. Yeah, I agree.
With that, like, subscribe, share, all those normal things, all those buttons at the bottom. We really appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all soon.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
They're nice to meet you. Nerds do rule the world.
We do. We're phenomenal, aren't we?
Thank you, nerds rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And
you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Yes. Nerds do rule the world. I agree.
We do.
I agree.
We're awesome, aren't we?
Thank you, ladies.
So much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
And nerds really do rule the world.
Thank you, sir. It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.
Well, I was good until I saw that this is Nerds Rule the World. So are we talking about, like, everybody you interview is a nerd, right?
Oh, it's a legal requirement. It is.
It's a legal requirement. Or the second you popped on screen, I was like, wait, are you supposed to be the queen nerd then?
I hope so. My handle is Heather is a nerd, so I am a professional at least.
Okay. But then you enter that whole question of like, well, if you're calling yourself a nerd, are you really a nerd? A true nerd, would they call them? I don't know. I'm going to start going cross-eyed.
Going to psychoanalyze this a little bit.
Yeah.